Welcome everyone again. So here we are, part two about the massage, self-care, stretching, manual therapy, and welcome Judy again.
Good afternoon, everyone. I covered in this time together some manual therapy tools that you can use for stress and pain management. And I also included some talk about breathing exercises, meditation, prayer, a little bit about essential oils, anything that kind of helps our stress, our muscles, and just trying to make it through the day, quite honestly. So go ahead and start the PowerPoint here. We're going to start with just, if I can make this work, defining what we're doing here, as I just mentioned. We'll also have a Q&A again at the end, or anytime you want to interject anything, please do. So let's talk about stretching. This is a very physiological definition of stretching. Stretching has been defined as passively, which means not actively, positioning muscle attachments as far apart as possible to elongate, lengthen the muscle in the direction opposite of its action. So it's a big way of saying you have two attachments, one at each end of your muscles, and they're attached to bones with tendons. And you want them, if they're over contracted and you overworked out or you've overstrained it, you want to lengthen that muscle fiber, and that's what stretching does. I just listed a couple of effects of stretching. It improves flexibility by loosening those surrounding muscles of joints. So then it takes the pressure off aggravated joints. And improved flexibility is really important, obviously, for prevention of injury. So another effect is it lengthens those short, tight muscles, as described in the definition, which helps muscular imbalances, reduces muscle tension, prevents injuries, and helps establish better posture. So many of you, I don't know if your job is sitting at a desk, but I think we all are very challenged with computers and posture. So I may teach you a couple little short stretches today, just while you're seated, to help you with some of those imbalances that you create sitting at the desk. This is always a question I am asked. As a massage therapist, I try to give a lot of self-care and homework to my clients, not too much to overwhelm, but things that might help them with what I'm seeing in their body. So one thing many ask are, how long should I stretch? How many times should I stretch? This is a method that I found while doing this research. It's called the 10-10-10 method. It's used by many physical therapists. So the first 10 is you gently move into the stretch and hold it for 10 seconds. So I'm going to have you try to do this. We're going to do this together. I'm going to have you grab underneath the seat of your chair with your left hand so that that kind of locks your shoulder down. And I'm going to have you put your hand on the opposite side, on the left side of your head. And we're just going to stretch our neck, basically. So we're holding on to the chair so that your shoulder will be locked down and you'll just stretch this area. So we're going to gently move into the stretch and feel the resistance and stop there. Hold that for 10 seconds. And then it says to move in and out of the stretch for 10 repetitions. So kind of doing this very slowly. We're going to do 10 of those. 2, 3, 4, trying to push yourself a little more elongated with each one. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the last 10 is to again do the stretch and hold it for 10 seconds and go as says to push your limit of flexibility. So go to the end feel of the joint where you can feel that resistance. So we're just going to go and hold that again. You should be able to go a little further than what you started. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then just very slowly come back center. So that's just one example of that 10-10-10 method. And you can do that on both sides. If you want to do that while I'm talking to balance the other side, but that's kind of a really good directional of how to stretch and how long. The worst thing you can do when you're stretching is to bounce a lot. I see a lot of athletes or people where they're bouncing doing a hamstring stretch. You really want to go slow into a stretch and hold it slowly. I included this because I think sometimes we need to know how we get all of these imbalances in our muscles. And that's one thing as a massage therapist I try to look at in people's bodies when I'm working on them. So we all struggle with poor posture. A lot of times we're very rounded forward. And so squeezing your scapulas together is a good thing to help that imbalance. Repetitive movements also cause muscle imbalance if you're doing something over and over again in your job, where you have strength in one side of your body and not in the other. Poor exercise techniques can injure you and imbalance you, and imbalance strength training. So maybe you have you're trying to train yourself and don't have a personal trainer and you're not really balancing your body muscles correctly. Injuries obviously produce a lot of compensation patterning. If your right knee is killing you, you probably will put more weight on the left. So that's that compensation response at the bottom there. And then neurological disorders where there's a nerve that could be impinged and it's causing muscular contraction and imbalance in your body as well. These are some of my favorite tools to use and to suggest to my clients, and I use these as well for myself as a manual therapist. So foam rolling has become very popular. Most people know about foam rolling. This is a foam roller that has some spikes on it. I have one that is smooth on the surface. They're very different. There's different lengths and diameters of those. What you want to get is something that is not going to really hurt you too bad. I've seen a lot of people misuse foam rollers and actually bruise themselves from them. So you need a density that is comparable to what you need for your tissue. A percussive massage is like a Theragun, which is what this gentleman is using right here on his forearm. It's just a over and over again pounding. I actually have one right here. I don't know if you can see. Right here. You can see it moving. Use that on my arm. But it talks about, using those correctly as well. Deep tissue massage and myofascial release are types of massage that are really good therapy, which we talked about earlier last week. Lacrosse balls are some of my favorite, or tennis balls to get between you and the wall. We're going to watch a little video about that. TheraBand are stretch bands where you can do resistance, where you attach the band to maybe a doorknob and then you're pulling towards and away. That's just one example of using stretch bands. A Pro Stretch calf stretcher is basically, you can Google that if you'd like. Pro Stretch calf stretcher. I have one right here. I use this, so you put your tennis shoe and your foot in here, and then you lean back and you stretch and dorsiflex your foot, which stretches your calf. So it's a quick, really easy way to get a really profound calf stretch. And then exercise balls, I'm a huge believer in, whether you're doing exercises on them for core work or you're just simply stretching over the exercise ball to open your upper body up. So those are some fun tools that really help keep you in alignment, keep you out of pain, etc. I wanted to show you this. I learned this from a physical therapist. It's 2 tennis balls that is taped together with more of a first aid kind of tape. And then you can lay down on top of that and roll. It's not touched. And you can roll. You have to move your body to roll this, but you can also put it underneath your neck and relax into it. And again, a tennis ball is a little softer, so it's not going to be as painful. So I really like that as well. So we're going to watch a video on foam rollers if you already know how to use these, and maybe you can just eat some lunch and check out for a second, but we're going to try to see if this works for you. This is specifically, this gal is showing this for low back pain. So as you can see with this, you have to have pretty good mobility and upper body strength to be able to use those techniques. Okay. Let's see if I can get to the next slide. Hang on. Sorry, technology, you know how that goes. This one is about all over foam rolling with movement. You can see the difference in this roller for her. It's not spiky. It's got a smooth surface. This is lacrosse ball usage. And you can use silly faces and people really wonder what you're doing. You can get lacrosse balls at any sporting goods company, Academy, Dick's. I decided to include some yoga poses because a lot of people do yoga, and this video is not the slow method of doing yoga. She basically goes very fast, showing you 30 different poses. But yoga is really a great self stretch, and it really opens you up. This middle posture she's doing here, you probably know the name of it. I do not. But that's one of the best, they say, for overall opening of the body. So I'll show this real quick. Triangle pose. Can I have someone just chime in, like open their mic and tell me that everything is going good technologically with you? Well, okay, because Magna had some, oh, she's back on. Had some computer issues. Is everyone still able to see the screen and were you able to watch the videos? Anyone? Open your mic.
Yes.
Thank you.
There was no sound though.
There's no sound?
Not with the video. No.
Oh, really? Okay, thank you for that. So we're going to talk about breathing, move on to how do we breathe? How do we breathe best to really relax us, to really take good inhalation? This is just the definition, a simple definition of breathing. It's the respiration cycle, of course, of taking in air and expelling it then from our lungs and the carbon dioxide. It consists of those two phases of inhalation and exhalation. We're going to do this breathing exercises. Hopefully it'll help you today if you're under any kind of stress, anxiety, or frustration. It's called 4-7-8 breathing. This was taught to me by one of my holistic primary care doctors, which I use all the time. It says for times of stress, anxiety, frustration, and possible anger, 4-7-8 breathing can give you a moment to reset, relax, settle, and calm, providing a space to process your thoughts and emotions. So we're going to do this together and I will count. We're going to take, the first one is taking an inhalation and holding that for your count of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a little fast. We're going to hold the breath for a count of 7, and then we're going to very slowly exhale with a steady rhythm for a count of 8. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and you can join me if you'd like. I'm going to inhale. So it's a very nice, really nice breathing exercise for you to remember. We're going to talk about diaphragmatic breathing. Since you don't have sound on these videos, they're not going to be very helpful. But you can look at, I didn't write down the URL code on this one, but you can definitely Google this on YouTube if you'd like to look at these. Basically, your diaphragm is right below your rib cage, attaches under there, and it's actually the muscle that helps you to lift your rib cage and lower it. There's about 46 muscles used in taking a breath in, believe it or not. Your diaphragm is the largest and the most important. It contracts during your inhalation and it relaxes. So it's kind of like a bellow, if you would, while you're breathing. So I'm not going to show that just because you probably won't be able to hear that. I appreciate that feedback. So this shows a second part of this lady showing you how to diaphragmatic breathe while you're laying down. And you want to put your hand on your belly and one on your chest so you can feel if you're taking air into your belly or taking it into your chest. So diaphragmatic breathing is where your belly expands more than your chest. And then when you exhale, you tighten that musculature from all the way from the pelvic floor up to exhale. And one thing I learned with diaphragmatic breathing, I learned to do this when I was in college, and I was always having cramps while I was running. And my teacher taught me to diaphragmatic breathe, which gave me more oxygen and more extreme oxygen. So let's try to do this. Let's see what I have for the next slide here. I'm really disappointed you can't hear the sound. This is when she's doing at an upright position like we're doing today. So we can put our hand on our chest and one on our belly. Try to sit up straight. We're going to try to breathe in and let our belly fill with air. And then on the exhale, we're going to tighten from all the way at the pelvic floor and up. To exhale. Try a few of those. Belly out. Exhale from down below. So sorry, I'm having trouble with my mouse. So this lists some of the benefits of diaphragmatic breathing. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm so sorry. It relaxes your body. We need it with all my mouse issues. Calms your mind, improves overall sense of well-being. And one thing I learned in my lymphatic training is it aids in the moving of your lymphatic fluids. So what that means is it helps your immune system. So we've talked about COVID and all kinds of upper respiratory things. And anytime you're sick, your immune system is definitely challenged. So even doing diaphragmatic breathing is a great way to begin some healing in your body and your lymphatics. One of the main lymphatic vessels runs right through your diaphragm. So that is why. Got to give you a little education on the lymphatics. I put this picture of the ocean there, or the tide coming in and out, because that's kind of what diaphragmatic breathing reminds me of, in the presence of your body. And maybe as you're doing it, you can think about that as if you've ever been to the ocean and just seeing that peaceful water go out and then the water come back in. Let's all go to the beach today. This is a really good meditation and breathing video. If you would like to write it down, it's Kristen Lothman, Lothman, from the Mayo Clinic. If you would like to view that later for the sound, it's a really nice mindful meditation. You might want to do it after we're done, even with this PowerPoint. Meditation, mindfulness, and prayer. So this also relaxes your body, just to try to clear your mind. We get so busy and our mind is flooded with information, not only from social media and our phones, but TVs everywhere we go. And if we don't take time during our day to try to just kind of shut all that out just for a minute, just to balance your thoughts, calm your mind. It's a huge difference. I don't know if some of you already take that time to meditate. I like to do meditation and Thanksgiving in the morning to start my day, and it really starts my day in such a better space than if I don't.
Judy, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Sorry, I was temporarily unavailable. I was hoping, well, I mean, I was worrying that computer will crash. So we offer meditation at the library via Zoom now every Wednesday, and it was
Yay.
temporarily suspended while I was on FMLA, but now I am back. So anybody who is interested in trying it, we have it every Wednesday for 30 minutes at noon, and we do different types of meditation every Wednesday. So if you don't like something, please come back, because it's totally different next Wednesday. So,
I love that. I think I will join you.
good.
Do you have to have a library membership to do that?
No,
Sorry.
no, but the best way is to sign up online or
Okay.
email me, and I will send you the link. Is different every week because we had some Zoom bombing. So we kind of have to do different Zoom link every week. The best way is to sign up online through the library catalog, or if you are UG employee, it's on your wellness catalog already, or wellness link, or however you are using it.
Well, you got connection just in time. My PowerPoint went a lot shorter because I could not include a lot of those YouTube videos because Phyllis thankfully said that you couldn't hear them. I did include a scripture here, and this is something that helps me a lot. It says, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, and whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. That helps me to ground and just get my mind off the craziness of the world and have hope and my faith. So that I thought I would include that as well. I decided at the end, like today, to add a little bit about essential oils because I really love them. I use them frequently in my massage room. Really helps clients to relax, try to breathe. And there's so many different uses for essential oils. And I'm not going to, I mean, I just did a couple little slides, but you really need to be educated when using them because they are from plants. They can have allergic reactions, and they can be so beneficial in so many ways. But I just thought I'd include this to help if any of you, just as a reminder that they can be used for de-stressing and relaxation.
So
Aromatic.
can I
I'm sorry.
chime in? It's me
Yes,
again.
please.
And the
Please.
unsolicited advisor here. So
I love
I love essential oils, and I try to make my house smell nicely using them. I never figure out the device how to actually disperse them through my house. I used to go to this acupuncturist office downtown, and when you entered, it just smelled like these beautiful flowers or whatever, and it was from essential oils they were using. Maybe because they were using them all the time. This was a massage place plus a acupuncture place. But Judy, how do you suggest to, kind of use them in your home? Because I tried all these burning thingies and all these lamps and things, and my house could never. And then I felt like it was burning. It was smelling like a burning oil rather than, lavender or something else.
Well, the next couple slides will tell a little bit, and then I'll share how I use them. Okay. Thank you for sharing all of that, though. And it really does. I mean, when you walked into that office, it probably just gave you like just a sense of, ooh, take a breath and breathe it in and relax, right? So that's aromatic application. It involves inhaling a fine mist, which usually comes out of a diffuser, or a vapor of aromatic components that are evaporated. So inhalation of any oil or the aroma of the oil can be a powerful way. And this is the effect. It can affect memory, mood, hormones even, and emotions through our olfactory system. So I get the benefit of the oils as well when I work on my clients. So here's some ways you can use essential oils. You can direct inhalation for you, as you can just take, I should have brought a bottle too. I could run and get one. Just take 2 drops, massage it into your palms, and then cup your nose and your mouth and just inhale and breathe. So that's going to be a very strong aroma. So if you have a very strong oil, you may have to cup a little further out. Because you don't want to overwhelm your olfactory either. They say to use, if you're trying to sample a lot of oils, I'll interject this, to use coffee beans, to smell coffee beans to kind of clear that oil in your olfactory system when you're inhaling it, and then go and smell another scent after you sniff those coffee beans. It's kind of a neutralizer of scent, and it doesn't smell bad either. Putting it on a cloth or tissue. I do this all the time in my room. I put eucalyptus usually on a Kleenex and I put it underneath the face cradle where people are face down. So usually you get sinus congestion while you're face down in the cradle of the massage table. And so that eucalyptus helps. It's kind of a nice fresh scent that helps keep your sinuses open a little bit. So I use that in that way. And you can do that anytime. And you could maybe, I think they even have clips for your car. The last one talks about your car. I know different oil companies have a clip that you can put on the vent of your air conditioning or heating that has the oil in it, like on a, usually it's a compressed piece of paper that'll diffuse through. So the air basically blows through. You drop the oil on that paper in the diffuser and it blows through and vents it out into your car.
Mhm.
So you can check those out probably on
Yeah, I
Amazon.
think this is exactly the one of the contraptions I tried at home, and it smells nicely for a little bit, and then I
Yes.
just cannot. And also the cotton ball, yeah, I used to put it in my car because I bought used car, and the previous owner was a smoker.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
So, but actually it works, especially in the summertime when the car inside is 140,
Yes.
So the cotton, it really worked on the cotton ball in the car. Yep.
Yeah. I've actually never used this to the ceiling. That's supposed to say ceiling fan, not ceiling fan. Or an air vent or anything like that. I've never done that myself, but sounds like you have and it works.
Well, I just
So,
put it in a coffee cup, in
okay.
between the seats, and the car is hot enough, so actually it kind of dissipates around.
If you look at like Sprouts, Whole Foods, some of those that have a lot of different diverse, wonderful products, I found it was a ball of, I think it was balsam wood that had been soaked in an essential oil, and I kept it in my car for over a year. I just put it on the little side pocket in my door, and it fumigated my car really nicely for a long time. So you might check out those stores to find different essential oils.
And also, which brand is good, if we are allowed to name any brands?
Well, that's always the topic of discussion in the massage community. In the massage community, there's two suppliers that are kind of in a pyramid program plan that you have to find someone who's a distributor. Those are Young Living and doTERRA oils. So I used to sell doTERRA. I haven't sold it for quite a while, but I use, I started, those two are very pure and very good. I believe and a lot of times you'll see 100% therapeutic, essential oil, and, you don't want to buy them at Walmart. A lot of times online, you have to watch on Amazon, like how they're processed, how they're, gotten from the plant to the oil and what they're doing. And if they're adding any synthetics into those oils, you don't want that. So research is really recommended. I use a less expensive brand now. Sometimes it's called Revive. You can also use Auracacia. It's AURACACIA. And another one I use is the Now, NOW brand. So you have to really watch these because a lot of times everybody, we went through a pretty big craze with essential oils. It's kind of calmed down a little bit, but I have a book, which I noted at the end of this PowerPoint that I got some of this information from. It's called Modern Essentials, and doTERRA put that book out. But get a book on oils if you want to really get into this, just to be safe. And there's a lot of like photosensitive oils, like you can't, use some of the citrus oils, like when you go to a tanning bed. So, because you can have allergic reactions and things. So you have to really watch oils. Some are contraindicated during pregnancy or lactating mothers. There's contraindications for some oils, meaning you shouldn't be using them. So education and knowledge is really important with the oils. But I use a diffuser very similar to this in my massage room. And I put different blends in there according to my client, and I try to start the diffusing about 10 to 15 minutes before they arrive, which merely gives you that smell like you were talking about when you walked into that chiropractic massage office in downtown. So I have 3 diffusers. So you can put them, you know, if you want to use the same thing, you can use just one oil, or you can do a blend. I think that's all I have. So it's only 20 till,
So
but
does
there was a
anybody
lot of
have
PowerPoints that I didn't show.
yeah, does anybody have any questions? You can type it in the chat room. I know some people had to leave because some people have only half an hour lunch.
Okay.
So if you have any questions, do you have, Judy, your contact information here?
Yeah, I will leave my phone number. It's the best way to contact me via call or text. In the chat, I just left that there for you if you
Thank
have
you
any
very
questions.
much. Thank you
But
very much.
thank you so much for allowing me to
Sure. Well,
share
let
and
me
do
think
this, and
what,
hopefully we can all breathe easier today and
yep.
de-stress a little bit.
Yep, I have, I'm looking, I have actually 5 different essential oils in my office, actually 6.
Yeah, they support me daily on a daily basis.
Yeah, I have a cotton ball on my desk and I put it there sometimes. It's really nice. Well, thank you so much, Judy. Thank you, and we will connect with you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much.